Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
President Trump is raising eyebrows for recent comments on gun control reform. Some Democrats in Washington approve of his latest message. I'm John Schumo in New York, and I'll have that story.
And finding affordable housing in Bozeman might seem like a full-time job to anyone looking for a place to live, but it really is a full-time job for a new city employee. What the new affordable housing director is doing, that is coming up.
Meantime, at 6:31, our top story, President Trump surprised Republicans and Democrats alike in pushing for several measures that would strengthen gun control. He even went as far as calling out lawmakers who don't agree, telling them it's because they fear the National Rifle Association.
Now, all of this as classes were back in session in Parkland, Florida for the first time since a gunman opened fire, killing 17 people. John Schumo has our latest.
Shortly after students from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School sat down for class for the first time since the massacre 2 weeks ago, President Trump was talking tough on guns with top lawmakers.
We got to stop this nonsense. It's time.
During a bipartisan meeting with Congress, the president crossed both party lines and the NRA. He called for tighter background checks, asked the GOP to shelve a conceal and carry measure, and advocated for raising the age to buy weapons like the one used in Parkland.
It doesn't make sense that I have to wait till I'm 21 to get a handgun, but I can get this weapon at 18. I don't know. So I was just curious as to what you did in your bill. You don't address it?
We didn't address it, Mr. President. Look, I think
you know why? Because you're afraid of the NRA, right?
An NRA spokesperson said of the meeting that while it, quote, made for great TV, the gun control proposals discussed would make for bad policy. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle question whether the president will follow through.
Crossed everybody's mind. Is this the Tuesday Trump or the Thursday Trump? It's a Wednesday, so don't know. We'll see. I hope that he sticks to it.
I don't know yet whether that was just a performance or whether that is actually the new position of the White House.
Some big box retailers, meantime, are making changes of their own. Dick's Sporting Goods says it's removing all assault-style guns and high-capacity magazines from stores. Dick's and Walmart also announced they'll no longer sell firearms to anyone under 21. John Schumo, CBS News.
Now, the president is scheduled to have another meeting on school safety today.
A little closer to home, by the way, 2 Hellgate High School students were questioned yesterday by Missoula police after someone overheard the students talking about a gun outside the high school. Police found out one student was in possession of a pellet gun that looked like a small pistol, front doors of the school. School officials say there does not appear to be any intention to use the gun inside the school or to threaten or intimidate anyone, but they also commend the community for reporting the incident. By the way, Bozeman High School administrators sent out an email saying they are aware of a planned walkout scheduled for Friday. The administration says it's similar to other walkouts that have happened across the country and across the state. The note to parents says this is not a school-sponsored or school-sanctioned event and is being organized entirely by students. Students will be marked unexcused unless they are excused by their parents.
There you go there. Matt joins us now at the desk. Some nice March temperatures. You guys said lamb the other day. I said, hey, let's take the lion. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Won.
I think it's me, isn't it?
Well, it depends. West Yellowstone, you got the lion.
Yeah,
Livingston, you got a little breezy lamb. So I don't know.
Temperatures this morning still a little cool, but we're not seeing a lot of snow activity, and I guess that's probably where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing a lot of snow initially. Possibly by the evening, the southern tier of Montana will be dealing with some scattered snow showers. Look at that. That's the sun actually helping us out there.
Wonderful.
A little bit of daylight. Temperature should be into the mid to upper 30s by the afternoon. We'll talk about the timing of our snow chance as we head into the weekend. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you so much, Matt. Current time, 6:34. Some sad news to pass along here. A child has died as the result of flu here in Montana, and this is the first for us this season. The victim is 10-year-old Chloe Lee. Now, she was a 4th grade student at St. Francis Catholic School in Billings. School officials tell us Chloe began to have symptoms on Sunday, and she got worse. Her parents rushed her to the hospital. She passed away Tuesday afternoon. Now, this is the 32nd death from the flu in Montana. Nationwide, there's been 97 flu-related deaths this season.
Some people that have been immunized have gotten influenza, but what happens is a lot of times they'll have a much less severe case. It's often confused with gastrointestinal illness, which it is not. Influenza is a respiratory, upper respiratory illness. You get headache, body aches, fever, having the whole body just hurting.
Now, of course, health officials also recommend practicing good hygiene techniques, covering your mouth when you cough, staying home if you're sick, and constantly washing your hands. In other headlines on this Thursday, a snowboarder had to be rescued yesterday after getting stuck at the top of a cliff in the Bridgers. According to the Gallatin County Sheriff's Office, an 18-year-old man from Vermont took a wrong turn, ended up at the top of a cliff on the west side of Saddle Peak. Now, when search and rescue skiers reached the site, they found the man clinging to a tree at the top of an approximately 150-foot cliff. They set up a rope system to lower the man to the bottom of that cliff. Fortunately, he was not injured. That was some scary stuff. We were at Bridger that day. Yikes. And as the growth continues in Bozeman, there's a greater need for affordable housing. The city has just hired an affordable housing director to help create plans and bring affordable homes to the area. MTN's Morgan Davies introduces us to the new director, Matt Madsen.
Matthew Madsen is originally from Wisconsin, but had been to Bozeman before. He got a graduate degree in Colorado in public health. Madsen says health and affordable housing go hand in hand.
The research out there is that people shouldn't be paying more than about a third of their income towards housing. And so when you start to have to pay more than that, it affects other things.
Those other things can include food security. So Madsen wants to use his background to create communities where people can afford to live.
Is making sure that as new subdivisions are developed, that there is a certain amount of affordable housing included in that. It's also, working with other partners in the community, the HRDC, Habitat for Humanity, and just finding out, what is going on, what other options are possibly available.
This summer, city commissioners passed an ordinance to ensure that all developers must have homes in their new subdivisions that meet affordable housing requirements. Madsen says he would like to know what is working for developers, as well as what people around Bozeman are seeing work.
I think if we're going to develop a really comprehensive plan and a program, input has to come from the entire community to make sure that it's meeting the needs of everybody that lives here.
Madsen is welcoming anyone to stop by his office at the planning department to talk about affordable housing with him. In Bozeman, Morgan Davies, MTN News. Now, Madsen began as affordable housing director last Tuesday. We welcome him.
Now, due to the rapid growth in the Gallatin Valley Airport adding another air traffic controller, Gallatin Valley Airport Authority approved funding to add the controller. This will add 2 more hours to the air traffic tower's operation. The airport board had to provide the funding for this because the FAA does not.
We've grown way faster than they're willing to commit to. And because of that, we have hours of the day that we really need to have air traffic control coverage.
By the way, the tower was previously staffed from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. It will now be staffed from 5 a.m. to 1 a.m.
And Butte is hoping to green up the city, and not just for St. Patrick's Day. The city's community enrichment department has hired its first arborist, who will be responsible for maintaining the city's trees and planting more trees around the city to develop its urban forest. Kathleen Humpa is from Northwestern Illinois. She has a biology degree from Northwestern Michigan University. The new arborist also hopes to get more people involved with community projects, such as tree planting and pruning throughout the summer.
Well, Montana has a new distinction. They take the title for having the world's largest bighorn sheep. That record previously held by Canada, but after a panel of judges inspected the wild sheep from Wild Horse Island, Montana now has the title. Governor Bullock joined the Wild Sheep Foundation and the Boone and Crockett Club to celebrate the new record. The horns on this sheep weigh 48 pounds. How about that? Congratulations. We're going to take a quick break here on Montana This Morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on CBS This Morning.
Community health centers like this mobile health unit are as important as ever to underserved areas around the country. I'm Mo Lalengi in West Virginia, and I'll tell you how the dysfunction in Congress is threatening the well-being of these vital resources.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS This Morning, we'll talk with Face the Nation moderator Margaret Brennan about the surprising resignation of White House Communications Director Hope Hicks and what it means for the Trump administration. And only on CBS This Morning, Reba McEntire is in Studio 57 to announce the Academy of Country Music Award nominees. See you at 7.